Hi friends, how are you? How is it going? Few days back, I posted one video which is containing a recipe to validate an user address. So it was very simple. You need to define this API by creating an Azure resource known as Azure Maps. And from this Azure Maps, whenever you are calling this API, by posting the street address you want to validate, it is going to come back to you either as a yes or a no. So when you do this, it is very simple, it's very direct. However, today I am going to show you another way to do this, which is yet more simpler. What is this? It is basically making use of custom AI prompts from Power Apps. So this Power Apps AI prompt, you need to define what exactly or how exactly you want to do this validation from. And then you can call this AI prompt from Copilot or from Power Apps or even from X++ code or from your C# plugins. You can do anything. You can call it from anywhere and perform this kind of validation, and it's going to come back to you as a yes or no. It is very simple, and watch out this video for the steps. Sure. So I'm coming to make.powerapps.com and I am selecting the correct environment where I'm going to define this AI prompt. So if I come to this prompts, which I've already pinned on my left hand panel. So if I'm coming here and clicking on AI prompts, I'll be seeing all the prompts that I have defined here and the ones that are shared with me, and in fact all the prompts if I am an administrator. So say for example, I have created this prompt called validate address prompt. If I click on this and let me see what is written inside. I have asked a very simple question like, is this a valid address for the given postal code, country, city combination, where I have supplied a variable called address, and I am then also asking use precision location for address, pin code, locality and country. Answer in yes or no. So if I click on inputs, I'll be seeing this is data which I have given as a sample data for this variable called address, where I have given a wrong or invalid postal code which does not exist for this city and this country. I'd still like to ask the prompt, can you validate this? So if I click on test prompt, it will answer in a downright simple answer as no. So this is not a valid result. This is not a valid address which I am providing. So likewise, whatever address it is going to receive, it can answer in yes or no. Okay, let us now call this validation from our Power Apps. So it's very simple. I have provided a customer as a drop down and I have given a multi-line user input as a street address. So you can give any address with state, city, postal code, country, county, anything, and it's going to click on submit. If I'm going to click on submit, and it's going to do a validation that if this address is correct or not by calling this Power Apps flow. So this PowerAutomate is doing a validation, and if it is coming back and going to tell you this address is correct or not, and is accordingly it's going to update the selected customer, or it's going to come back with a notification that your address is incorrect. So for that, what I've done is that in this PowerAutomate, I'm passing on in my submit button, I'm passing on my selected party ID. Why party ID? Why not customer? I think I have covered this in one of my previous video blogs where actually I was showing you in my this OData entity called party location postal address V2. You need the party number to be provided. This party number actually is the one which you can get from the customer. So I am passing on this party number, and along with that I'm passing on all the address details. It is going to update accordingly. But before that, as we were discussing it, before that it's going to do some validation to the address of this customer and going to do the needful. So let's go back to our Power App Studio, and this is exactly what it's doing. It is basically returning a response from here, and it's going to setting in a variable known as the response. Now let us see what is the content of this Power Automate. If I click on edit, it will take me to the designer mode. So my Power Automate looks like this. This is where I have defined the user inputs. I've given a name like this customer account, but don't be confused with it because basically it is accepting the party account, the party number. And I'm also accepting the address input of the user. So in the next step, I am calling this action known as create text with GPT using a prompt validate address. So this is where I am calling my custom prompt called validate address prompt, which I showed you previously, and which is nothing but this. And I am doing the validation out here by passing on the input that I'm getting from the previous step. This is going to come back to me doing the validation as yes or no. So it is saying this text. What is this text? This text is nothing but the outcome of this steps, this operations, this execution of this step. So it is coming back to me in this step, and I'm saying if this answer contains yes. So you can alternately, you can also you can also convert this into a boolean, and then you can contains, instead of contains you can say equals to, is equal to true or false, like that you can also do, but that's fine. So if this is yes, then it means I am then calling the another prompt to do a insertion. So get the address details as a JSON, which I showed you like in my previous one of my previous videos, which is get address details. Here also I'm doing a prompt. I'm also calling this prompt, which is basically breaking this user input into, if I click on this test prompt, it's going to come back and going to convert this as a JSON as street, postal code, city, and country, like this. So exactly that's what I'm doing here. I am converting this as a JSON, and I'm parsing the JSON out here, and I'm getting the individual contents of this street, city, postal code, country, all this city, all these things I'm getting here, and I am then, the rest part is very mundane. I'm calling the AED token. I'm then passing on this AED token into, I calling this HTTP, where I am calling this OData, like party location postal address, this one, and basically I am passing on this party number, location ID, rules, is primary, all these things I'm passing on, and it is capturing this variable and creating an address record in my customer. And this is for yes, and if it is for no, then it will respond to the Power Apps with a failure saying that invalid address provided, please check between address and city country given. If it is, if it fails, then it will come back to me as a notification like this. And if it is true, but if this entire thing is correctly executed, then I am again giving, either if it is 200 or 201. 200 means okay, and 201 means accepted. If any of this execution comes as 200 or 201, I am responding to the Power Apps as updated successfully. And if it fails, if any kind of internal error comes, it will come back to the Power Apps saying that update failed. So what if I call this, execute this Power Apps now? Let us see what happens. I am running the Power Apps, and I'm going to select any customer. So I'm going to select any customer US 22, and I am going to give any address like test city, and then anything I'm given 123 test city, and I'm giving any postal code like 789, like this, and I am giving the city as Bangalore, and I'm giving the country as India. So this postal code and this city and this country combination is invalid. So if I click on submit, let us see what happens. It is basically calling to the PowerAutomate, and is going to come back to me saying that invalid address provided, which is basically the failure part of the condition which I showed you. If I click on OK, and if I change this city so to Kolkata, and let me correct the pin like something else like 700084, and if I click on submit, let us see if this is getting accepted or not. Again it is saying no, because I've given an extra zero out here. So I will again click on OK, and I will come back and correct the posted code and let me try once again. So let us see, I've clicked on submit and let's see what happens. Is basically it is taking a while to update this, and it's going to come back to me saying that updated successfully. And if I come to my customers and if I refresh this page like this and let me see what has happened, like if I get inside this account, if I open this account and go all the way down in my address first tab, I would be able to see like on this particular record, this has been able to strip out the street, the postal code, the region, the city, all these details it has been able to strip out. I have just limited myself to this country, region, state, postal code only. State I have, sorry, my bad. State I have not included in my address prompt. If you want, you can get down to further details like you can include county, district, whatever you want to include as a part of your address, and you can do this. So this is what exactly your prompt can do. You can do any kind of validation just by defining your prompts effectively, and you can do miraculous things just without writing any code, without doing any kind of customization. Effortlessly you can do this. So with that, let me conclude the session for today. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, please feel free to do the same, and please share with your friends just in case if someone wants to implement a prompt like this. Namaste and much love.